We got a pretty good thunderstorm in town yesterday, last evening, and a lot of hail, quite a bit of rain, so we weren't sure if we were going to come out here and find mud or what, but she looks just fine. Not a big fan of deeply rutted two-track roads. They kind of tend to wear me out. My little stick arms just don't like horsing a bike around a lot. You get to bobsledding back and forth in these ruts. It gets a little tiring. Took the windshield off so we can hopefully get some good audio. The windshield causes turbulence that just makes so much wind noise in the mic that you just can't stand it. It's unusable above 15-20 miles an hour. It's so noisy. But without the windshield on, I can do 35, 40, something like that with no real issues. Hardest part is talking softly enough. The mic is right at my chin, so. This is mostly BLM land here, a little bit of state, and then a few pieces of private here and there. So you kind of got to be careful where you go. You don't want to be trespassing. Ranchers, unfortunately, like to treat the BLM land like it was their own. You know, they've got grazing leases on it, but that doesn't mean that they can block it off and call it theirs. They're not supposed to deny the public from coming out and recreating on the land, as long as we don't bother their cows and tear up the country and stuff like that. You know, we're fine. But they still like to put up no trespassing signs here and there, even though it actually isn't their land. They just, you know, it's an intimidation deal. They want you to turn around. But we are armed with a GPS and a map. So, hopefully we won't get in any trouble. I need to relax a little bit. I got a bit of a death grip on the handlebars here. It's going to make my hands hurt. Little pond right there. Solar powered water pump. Smell the cattle. I can't see any, but they just turn them loose, round them up in the fall. A lot of the ranchers that have cattle out here, they do run them up into the Bighorns, the southern end of the Bighorns for the summer, and then bring them back down here for the winter. Gary's little bike, the shift lever is so far forward from the foot peg that you got to take your foot off of the peg to shift the bike. And Gary's got pretty small feet, so he really has to take his foot a long ways off. And that'd drive me crazy. I'd have to put on a shorter shifter. Once again, what our primary mission is today, other than just getting in a nice little scenic motorcycle ride, we're coming out looking for the elusive high desert Bigfoot, Sagesquatch. Maybe today will be the day. Last trip out kinda in this area, we saw some stuff that I didn't really think about at the time that was possibly Bigfoot sign. So I don't know. Now we're getting into the area I'm not real sure about. I think this is a fairly new route here down to the creek bottom. I think this one's been fairly recently bulldozed. Get a heavy rain and this old dirt likes to move a lot. I'd have to look on Google Earth, but this little drainage down here has got a name, and I can't remember if it's a creek or just a draw. I think this is Ellis Draw. That's what it's called. All dry. See the different sedimentary layers of dirt laid down. Distinct color change from the bottom up to the top there. I'm always keeping my eyes open for dinosaur bones. Can't really pick them up on the public land, but you could, if you located them, you could tell some museums about them and they'll come out and do an official dig if it's worth their time. And this place is not really known for dinosaur bones, I don't believe. But you never know. They are where you find them. I used to do a lot of deer and antelope hunting, and I know through the years I walked right over the top of a lot of piles of dinosaur bones and did not know what I was stepping on. Got our first gate to negotiate. Ooh, it's got one of the easy closers. Gary's gonna do the honors this time. I'll get it next time. So I might cut the video off here at some point and pick it up again later, just so the video doesn't get too awful long. I'm trying out my gas can. I don't have any fuel in it today. I'm just checking to see how it's going to ride. Oh, Gary already got her. This Kawasaki KLX is kind of really a lot more bike than this old guy needs. As you can tell, I don't ride real fast, especially on two trackers and stuff like that. Don't need to crash, don't need to break a leg. Just getting old, brittle bones, no strength. So you just have to be careful. On up here a little ways, we're going to get another. There it is right there. That's the fork, I think. This is another draw. BLM map would probably tell us. Got to come back up this. That shouldn't be any issue. It's not too rough. Gary's a lot more experienced rider than I am. I used to ride 30 years ago, and I'm just now gotten back into biking a year ago. So I'm pretty tentative on I used to have an old BSA 500, Victor 500. The guy I got it from had kind of turned it into a motocross. Ooh. And it had a huge rear tire on it. I think he may have geared it down a little bit. And that bike was a lot of fun. It was a hill climbing demon. But you know, it was real poor suspension on it. I think it did have upgraded front forks, but the rear springs, you know, like 3 inches of travel or something. But it was a blast, made a lot of noise, hauled ass. But this KLX is just, it's really more than I need. I don't ride hard. This has got the suspension to go fast, you know. And I'm not that kind of rider, so I'm still debating on whether to keep this bike or sell it and then just get the little Honda XR 150 into a better dirt bike. I've already geared it down one tooth in the front sprocket, and it's still not quite low enough, so I'm either going to go to a 15 tooth and one more step in the front, or I would like to try see if I can find a 2 tooth bigger rear sprocket. That way I won't have to start shortening the chain or anything. Somebody's been back in here fairly recent. This grass has been pressed down. I just hope we can find our way back out of here. Not too many ways to get lost, but you take the long 2-tracker, it might be a while before you. Yeah, I don't see any tire tracks in the dirt here, so it's been a while. It's rained since somebody was last in here, and hopefully we're leaving a track to follow. Prairie dog out there. How about that? Prairie dogs. Prairie dogs. Don't really see any mounds, but you can see them. There's one there, and a few down there. There's definitely a mound there. Maybe some on down there. There's some over there. So, Prairie Dog Town, back in the middle of nowhere. Usually they have their stuff right along main roads so they don't get shot at. Little vermin don't know I got a .22 Magnum pistol with me. But I won't be shooting at them. The moms have got little babies and stuff, so it'd be a little unethical to shoot them this time of year. Okay, so I'm going to shut the video down now, and I will start it up a little later. Thanks for watching. Bye.